Hello all, and welcome to tonight's Shochu review. Now, this is actually a pretty interesting one because it's something I've never had before. Um, and it is potato shochu. Not sweet potato shochu, not Imo Jochu, but Jaga, Jagaimo shochu from Kiyosato Distillery. This was a distillery founded in 1975 in Hokkaido. And it is a municipally owned distillery, if you can believe it. So the government of the town owns and operates the distillery. And I believe, if I'm looking at this correctly, it is it was decided upon as a way to use up excess potatoes produced by the town's field. So the town apparently grows very much a lot of potatoes, and this was a way of using them. Now, my dad went to Hokkaido a couple of months ago and brought back the sampler set. Nomi kurabe. And yeah, so this is their 25% ABV. Their Honkaku, 44% ABV. And they're aged in oak barrels at 25% ABV. We're going to be starting with the 25% normal one. And yeah, we're going to be pouring a little bit into the glass here to go and get a sense of the aroma, because I've never had this before. And then we're going to be making some oyuwari. And hopefully my throat holds up for this. Yes. Okay, so yeah, I have no idea what this is going to be like going in. Being that it's single distilled, unlike vodka, which is triple distilled, I'm assuming it's going to have a lot more character than potato vodka. But I don't know. Let's go and find out now, shall we? So let's go and pour a little bit here. I'm going to be fairly conservative. If we need more, we can go and get more later. Oh, wow. It's pretty thick. Huh, interesting. It has a lot of the same earthy notes as, you know, sweet potato, but slightly different. There's almost like a chocolatey note to it. A sweet chocolatey note, like almost more like milk chocolate than bittersweet chocolate. Mild herbaceousness. Yeah. Let's just go and get this on the palate now, shall we? Wow, that's quite a kick for 25% ABV. I need to pour out a little bit more of this. Just got to leave enough for oyuwari. This is an interesting flavor. Kind of hard to suss out, though. Up front is a sweetness. And it's actually sweeter than Imo Jochu, even though Imo, sweet potato, has more sugar than regular potato. I'm guessing the starches in this really break down. Then immediately in the mids and into the finish, there's this deep and intense spiciness. I originally thought it was an alcohol kick, and let me be straight, there is a bit of an alcohol kick to this. It's not particularly smooth, but you know, that's how shochu can be at times. But there's a deep spiciness in the mids and into the finish, and in the long finish, it slowly declines. There's a peppery spiciness, you know, like black pepper, not red pepper. Top of that, there's an herbaceousness that mixes with the sweetness. Um, it's kind of it's somewhat evocative of you know, those old horsehead candies, but not as sweet. But definitely kind of herbaceous. Some people might find it medicinal uh, in a bad way. I don't. Yeah, there's a lot under there, but that pepper really bites, you know. So there's a lot of subtle notes underneath that spiciness. They're kind of obscured. Let's see if we can go and this is going to be kind of hard to figure out. Let's see if we can go and suss it out in the oyuwari. So I got my tea kettle here. And I'm going to try to be very conservative with how much, because this is a small bottle. Yes, Paul, just go and pour that hot water right over your lap. That's a brilliant idea. Okay, that's a little bit too much hot water. Far, far too much hot water. Pour some of it off. Okay, now it's too little hot water. Well, let's just go and add it right now, and then we'll see it from there, huh? Yeah, let's just go and add a touch back here. There we go. Yeah. Hmm. Okay, interesting. Now I'm getting wet stone. Um, almost like barnyard kind of notes to it, which is a combination I never thought I'd ever smell before in my life. You know, there's still some of that chocolate there, but it's very far beneath. There's these other things that have popped up on top. And all in all, the smell is much more intense now. Of course, that's the reason why I like oyuwari. It basically makes, you know, the aroma so much more intense than having shochu straight. Yeah. Okay, onto the palate now. Yeah, I added a little bit too much water. Oh well. I was worried I was going to do that, and I ended up doing it. Okay, that spiciness is still there, but it's now strongest up front. The sweetness is much reduced, mostly appearing in the long finish. There are no barnyard notes on the palate, thankfully. Yeah, now as it's cooling off, I'm noticing more and more of the sweetness. I have to say, this is actually perceptibly sweeter on the palate than Imo Jochu, um, which is something I find kind of really, really interesting. Um, what is Jagaimo? Someone from Japan can probably go and tell me better if it's like a special type of potato that's sweeter than like a sweet potato or something, because I'm really getting more sweetness in this than I am out of a regular sweet potato. Hmm. Yeah, that spiciness kind of kicks in once again in the finish, but quickly disappears thereafter. I'm kind of missing out on the subtle things because I added too much water, but as it is, it's still pretty nice right now. Yeah. I am definitely not going to go and have the, uh, you know, aged version with the hot water. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll try a little bit, just a little bit. Yeah. So Kiyosato Shochu, 25% ABV. Surprisingly sweet. In fact, I'm kind of curious. What is Jagaimo? Jagaimo potato. Oh, so it comes from, yeah, it's just like, yeah, it's like the kind of potatoes you use for mashed potatoes. No, stew potatoes, so it doesn't have that kind of mealiness. Yeah, interesting. Interesting. So kind of like light skinned potatoes. I'm not sure what you would call them. Oh, duh, nikujaga. Why didn't I think of that? Okay. Nikujaga being kind of stew, and it's like a meat and potato stew, and I'm like, what kind of potatoes? Stew potatoes. Duh. Yeah. Actually, I'm quite enjoying it. It's like, you know, regular Imo Jochu made with sweet potatoes, but still different. It has that rough edges around it. It's kind of got a kick to it, but in the end, it's got a lot of complexity, I kind of wish I had a larger bottle so I could experiment more with this. But yeah, I've definitely enjoyed this, and I know I'm going to enjoy reviewing the next two bottles over the next couple weeks. Yeah. So yeah, and that is your shochu review for this evening, folks. Cheers.